Hi, good morning, and welcome to the Wednesday, October 9th, 2019 Board of County Commissioners meeting. I'm Kate Flavin, Public Information Officer for Sedgwick County. This morning, I would like to invite up Lindsay Poe-Rousseau, our CFO, to introduce a special guest in our audience.
Morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Chairman. Good morning, Commissioners. So it is my pleasure this morning to introduce Mr. Wayne Bell, the District Director for the Wichita District Office for the U.S. Small Business Administration. He is here today to present some good news related to our purchasing department. Before we get into that, though, I want to tell you a little bit about Mr. Bell. His professional background includes extensive experience in public and private sectors, including positions locally with Beech Aircraft Company, Boeing Commercial Airplane Group, and with private manufacturing firms. He also is complemented through his work through the small business environment in Kansas. He attended Wichita State University, earned both an executive MBA and a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Technology, and he's currently a volunteer board member with the United Way of the Plains, Consumer Credit Counseling Services, and Real Men, Real Heroes. So we are very honored to have him here today, and with that, I'll ask him to come to the podium and share that news with you.
Good morning, sir, and welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, Chairman and Commissioners. Great to be here with you all today, and I really appreciate just a few minutes to share a bit of good news. As was stated, I want to tell you a little bit about the Small Business Administration and then our purpose for being here today again. So the mission of the SBA is to strengthen the nation's economy by enabling the establishment and vitality of small businesses, and by assisting in the economic recovery of communities after disasters. One of our core values is partnership and collaboration. Certainly, we could not reach the communities we serve, and we could not deploy our resources were it not for the partnership and collaboration with many of the economic development groups and stakeholders that we work with. And so today it's really appropriate for us to pause and recognize one of our most significant partners in terms of delivering our services and resources in the Sedgwick County area and certainly throughout the Wichita area. And that is Joe Thomas and his team with the Sedgwick County Purchasing Division. I want to tell you a little bit about the relationship that we've enjoyed in recent years. So, Joe Thomas, as the Director of Purchasing, has actively been involved in the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise, Women Business Enterprise Consortium, which was hosted and coordinated by USD 259 over 10 years ago. And so the purpose of that consortium is to collaborate with other public purchasing programs in the Wichita area, including the City of Wichita, Wichita State, the SBA, and others, to share best practices and to host joint outreach events to ensure that the county engages with as many small businesses and vendors as possible. And as a direct result of that consortium, county purchasing policy has been reshaped, as well as the purchasing policies of other stakeholders in that consortium. Also, since 2011, Mr. Joe Thomas has partnered with the U.S. Small Business Administration and other partners on our Suppliers Conference, an event that attracts hundreds of buyers and suppliers throughout the state and throughout the Midwest. And the purpose of that entity, event, is to bring together again these buyers and suppliers, all with the idea of furthering the economic activity associated with the contracting that comes out of that event. So in addition, for the past 5 years, Mr. Joe Thomas, again, and representatives from the Purchasing Division have also partnered with the SBA as a co-sponsor, and they've served as guest experts as part of our Emerging Leaders program, where we bring together a cohort of 20 business owners from our community that go through a 7-month curriculum all around developing strategic plans for growth for their businesses. And in some of those sessions, we bring in purchasing representatives from Sedgwick County to share a bit of insight on how to do business with Sedgwick County and how to serve as suppliers to Sedgwick County. I can't tell you how vital the partnership and collaboration has been that we've enjoyed with Sedgwick County, and it's been really a direct result of leadership of Joe Thomas and again his team. And so again, we just want to express our deep appreciation for his partnership and collaboration, and we look forward to many years of continued partnership. Thank you. If we could take a picture. Oh,
Nice trophy.
Joe, do you want to say anything? Still more pictures. Joe, would you like to say anything?
Yes, sir. I wanted to thank Mr. Wayne Bell and Michael Almack. They have really been instrumental in helping us to expand our supplier base. We've been able to reach out to so many vendors, small and large, and we've been able to see the development of some of these small vendors into pretty sizable ones. And I really appreciate the programs that they have and how they've really helped us to get fair and competitive bids. I want to thank you both and your team for doing that. But I especially would like to thank I'm just a representative of this, and it's not just me, but more importantly, it's the team we have in purchasing. Many times they're behind the scenes. You don't see them, you don't hear from them, but their effect is felt by the actions and the results that they get. So I want to introduce, starting in the front row here, we have Deanna Hutton, we have Chris Hopman, then here on this row we have Britt Rosencutter, Josh Lauber, Janelle Davey, Hetty Page, and Lee Barrier. And so I want to thank all of them for their hard work and their effort to make sure that we do get fair, equitable, and pricing, and we respect the taxpayers' dollars by those actions. So I want to thank them.
Mr. Bell, thank you very much for being here this morning. We sincerely appreciate that. We appreciate the recognition of a great team that we have here, and they couldn't do it without all of their team combined and the leadership within our finance department. So we appreciate it. We appreciate the recognition. You're not telling us anything we didn't already know, that they're a great group of people, but we really appreciate the outside agencies confirming what we already knew. Thanks, Sarah.
All right, and I have a few more announcements. Monday, October 14th, Sedgwick County offices will be closed in observance of Columbus Day. And then one more reminder for the Extension Office committee elections. They will be held next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at the Extension Center at 21st and Ridge. On the agenda this morning, Commissioners, we have meeting minutes, a proclamation for Global Handwashing Day, 2 board appointments, a resolution modifying part of the Sedgwick County Code. You'll consider a resolution authorizing the sale of general obligation bonds, and a review of the report of the boards and bids of contracts, and then we have a brief fire agenda. So, Chairman, I will hand the meeting to you.
Thank you, Kate. I appreciate it. With that, I want to welcome everyone that's joining us here in the audience and at home on TV or online. I'd like to call the meeting to order for Wednesday, October 9th, 2019. Madam Clerk, next item.
Invocation to be observed by a moment of silence. Please remain standing for the flag salute.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next item, please.
Roll call. Commissioner O'Donnell.
Present.
Commissioner Cruz. Commissioner Howell. Commissioner Meitzner. Chairman Dennis.
Present. Next item, please.
Public agenda.
Thank you. I have one individual signed up to speak on public agenda, our favorite, Lonnie Wright. Please state your name for the record.
Lonnie Wright, 1721 South Lulu in Wichita. And I want to express my appreciation to the commission and the manager for reaching out with a strategic plan to Wichita's district advisory boards. Monday night, 5 of the boards met, and with Facebook Live, I was able to switch and watch all 5. I noticed at Becky Tuttle's DAB, Commissioner Meissner spoke and introduced. And then he was followed by Misty Buckner, whom she went over what is going on with our strategic plan, how we're seeking the different inputs at Jeff Blueball's DAB. Commissioner O'Donnell was there and spoke, and he was followed by LaShonda Garnes. Now, I realize that we've also had the Chairman Dennis's Citizen Board be presented. Commissioner Cruz is scheduled for next Monday with her Citizen Advisory Board, and Commissioner Howell's on the 17th with his informational meeting. But for me, the significance is reaching out specifically to those Wichita District Advisory Boards to help them realize if you're living in Wichita, you're living in the county, and the county is providing services to you. And it helps broach that understanding of what does the city do and what does the county do. I think this is a significant move to help engage. I would like to see it expanded more to them, maybe including budget, what's going on, to help the citizens realize that they're also county residents and the counties are doing things. So I just wanted to express my appreciation for this reach out to those district advisory boards. Each of those 11-member boards have people that are centers of influence. They're from neighborhood associations and different groups, and they speak. It is a target communication to people that are interested. So I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you.
Very good, Lonnie. Thanks for being here this morning. We appreciate it. I don't have anyone else signed up to speak on the public agenda today, but if anyone else is here who would like to speak and didn't have an opportunity to sign up, we'll give you an opportunity at this time. Seeing no one, Madam Clerk, next item.
Consideration of minutes. Item A, regular meeting minutes of September 18th, 2019.
Thank you. All commissioners have had an opportunity to review the minutes from September 18th, 2019. Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner O'Donnell.
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz.
Aye.
Commissioner Howell.
Aye.
Commissioner Meitzner. Chairman Dennis.
Next item, please.
Proclamations. Item B, proclamation declaring Global Handwashing Day.
Thank you. Commissioners, I have a proclamation that I'd like to read. Whereas on October 15th is Global Handwashing Day, a global advocacy day dedicated to increasing awareness and understanding about the importance of hand washing with soap as an effective and affordable way to prevent diseases and to save lives. And whereas in 2019, Global Hand Washing Day theme is Clean Hands for All, and addresses that inequalities in hand washing facilities can put an individual at a higher risk for diseases that impact their health, education, and economic outcomes. And whereas hand washing with soap is among the most effective and inexpensive ways to prevent most diseases, and whereas hand washing is important before, during, and after preparing food, before eating food, before and after caring for someone who is sick, before and after treating a cut or a wound, after using the toilet, after changing diapers or cleaning up a child who has used the toilet, after blowing your nose, coughing or sneezing, after touching an animal, animal feed or animal waste, after handling pet food or pet treats, after touching garbage. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Chairman David T. Dennis, and the Board of Sedgwick County Commissioners do hereby proclaim October 15th, 2019 as Global Handwashing Day in Sedgwick County and remind you that no matter your role, you can celebrate Global Handwashing Day. Commissioners, you've heard the proclamation. Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, call a roll.
Commissioner O'Donnell.
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz.
Aye.
Commissioner Howell.
Aye.
Commissioner Meitzner. Chairman Dennis.
Aye. And it's being accepted by Chris Stewart this morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Stewart, Health Deputy Director. Thank you for allowing me to speak about Global Handwashing Day today and for accepting our proclamation. You might be wondering why we need to talk about hand washing. Sometimes we are in a hurry and cut corners. Hand washing is one thing we shouldn't cut corners on. Hand washing with soap and water reduces the chance of spreading diseases and illness such as the common cold and flu. Washing hands with water and soap and scrubbing hands for at least 20 seconds is important. The 20 seconds could be reciting the ABC song to yourself. Rinse hands under clean running water. Dry hands using a clean towel or air dry. And avoid touching the door or door handles with clean hands on the way out. Consider using a paper towel or tissue to open the door handle. It's important to wash our hands before we eat, handle food, after handling food, and changing a diaper or using the restroom. Hand washing also reduces the spread of diarrhea and pneumonia, which can cause serious illness and death. Despite the fact that the world's poorest households are less likely to have access to soap, cost is not the principal barrier to hand washing with soap. Most individuals around the world can afford multi-purpose soap bars or detergent to make soapy water. Investments in hand washing promotion are highly cost-effective and can maximize the health benefits of other interventions, from access to clean water and sanitation infrastructure to nutrition promotion. Hand washing with soap is an easy, effective, and affordable do-it-yourself protection that prevents infections and saves lives. Thank you.
Chris, thank you very much for bringing that message as the Board of Health for Sedgwick County. It's an important message for us to get out to all our citizens.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, next item.
Appointments. Item C, resolution appointing Jim Grocholsky to the Sedgwick County Mental Health Advisory Board.
Mr. Papoon.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Chairman. Mike Papoon, County Councilor. Yeah, before you a resolution appointing Jim Grocholsky to the Mental Health Advisory Board. This is an appointment by Commissioner MEITZNER. 15-member board. Each commissioner has 3 appointments to the board. There are no at-large appointments to this particular board. Mr. Grocholsky will be replacing Darrell Roberts, whose term ended earlier this year. So, the resolution's in proper form. Ask that you adopt the resolution.
Thank you. Commissioner Meitzner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My pleasure to support this nomination. I had a chance to visit with Jim and appreciate the phone call and the background, and he brings a lot of value to this board, and I'm glad that he's willing to serve. So, with that, I'd like to make a motion to approve Mr. Grocholsky to the board.
Second.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, call a roll.
Commissioner O'Donnell.
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz.
Aye.
Commissioner Howell.
Aye.
Commissioner Meitzner. Chairman Dennis.
And is Jim in the audience?
Right there.
Please approach the podium, and we will have you sworn in, and then you can make some statements if you'd like. Kelly Arnold, our clerk, is here to swear you in.
Newest member of WAMPA.
Good morning, Commissioners. I do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Kansas, and faithfully discharge the duties of the office as Sedgwick County Mental Health Advisory Board, so help me God. I do. Congratulations. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much, and good morning, Chairman Dennis, thank you, and Commissioners, thank you very much for this appointment. I've got over 45 years of healthcare experience, and it's interesting to watch over those years the increase in mental illness in our country, and Sedgwick County is no exception to that. ComCare does an exceptional job with taking care of patients in our county, and I appreciate your support and the support that you give to ComCare. So thank you very much, and have a blessed day.
Thanks, Jim. You'll bring a good wealth of knowledge. You'll be a real value asset to that board. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
Thanks, sir. We appreciate you volunteering. Next item, please.
Item D, resolution appointing Kim Landers to the Sedgwick County Advisory Council on Aging and Physical Disabilities.
Mr. Papoon.
Mr. Chairman, Mike Papoon, County Councilor. We prepared this resolution at the request of Commissioner O'Donnell, who is recommending the appointment of Kim Landers to the Sedgwick County Advisory Council on Aging and Physical Disabilities. This, too, is a 15-member board. Each commissioner has 3 appointments to the board, no at-large appointments. 1 member by each commissioner has to be age 55 or older, but we've checked and all of the commissioners are in compliance with this, and resolution's in proper form and ready to be adopted by the commission.
Thank you. Commissioner O'Donnell.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am very excited to appoint Ms. Landers to this board. She is the director of the Hayesville Senior Center, and they are doing some outstanding work currently. And hopefully with her advocacy, it will continue to grow. She had reached out to me. I had an opening, so it was just really just phenomenal timing. So I appreciate Ms. Landers' willingness to serve. So with that, I move that we appoint Kim Landers to the Sedgwick County Advisory Council on Aging and Physical Disabilities.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner O'Donnell?
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz?
Aye.
Commissioner Howell?
Aye.
Commissioner Meitzner?
Aye.
Chairman Dennis?
Ms. Landers in the room.
Don't see her.
Thank you, Kelly. Okay, next item, please.
New business, item E, a resolution modifying Chapter 5 of the Sedgwick County Code pertaining to animals.
Good morning again.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Stewart, Health Deputy Director. The resolution contains changes that are meant to update portions of Chapter 5 of the Sedgwick County Code pertaining to animals and new regulations pertaining to the tethering of dogs. These changes were created by the Animal Care Advisory Board. 2 members are here, plus the chair, who's Susan Erlenwine. They're in the audience. The changes include adding humane before euthanasia, changing to animal fighting instead of dog fighting, and pertaining to the tethering of dogs, the length and weight of the rope or chain, and the length of time to tether. In addition, in the future, we will be changing 5.5. It now says payment goes to the Sedgwick County Clerk, but actually payment goes to Sedgwick County staff, particularly the animal control staff. So if you have any questions, the chair is here, and Justin Wagner can also answer questions.
Very good. Thank you. I know you've come around and briefed each and every one of the commissioners on this, and we fully understand what the changes are that are recommended. I don't see any questions whatsoever, so I move that we approve and sign the resolution.
Second.
Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
There's one.
I'm sorry. Did you have something else? Oh,
Is there anything that,
did you want to speak, Justin?
Very briefly, Commissioner.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Just to clarify a little bit on Section 5.5, the change that Chris Stewart announced, I'd suggest that you incorporate that into the motion. So there's 3 locations where it says the county clerk would receive payment. If it just said the county on all 3 of those locations, that's the very slight change that Chris was mentioning. So my suggestion would be take the recommended action with that minor change. I wanted to clarify that so we wouldn't have to run it back in front of you.
Very good. So I need to amend my motion to clarify with the minor change. Do I need anything else? Okay, good. You okay with the second?
I am okay with the second.
Very good. Any further discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, call roll.
Commissioner O'Donnell?
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz?
Aye.
Commissioner Howell?
Aye.
Commissioner Meitzner? Chairman Dennis?
Aye. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Justin, for keeping me straight. Appreciate it. Next item, please.
Item F, a resolution authorizing the offering for sale of general obligation bonds, Series A, 2019 of Sedgwick County, Kansas.
Morning, Lindsay.
Good morning again, Commissioners. Lindsay Poe-Rousseau, your CFO. So the item before you this morning requests your authorization of a resolution that would allow finance staff to work with bond counsel Gilmore and Bell and Baker Tilly, our municipal advisor, to prepare documents necessary for a bond sale that we anticipate holding on November 5th, the results of which we would come to you with for approval on November 6th. And before I get into the details, I do want to mention that Garth Herman of Gilmore and Bell is here with us today, and certainly want to thank him, his colleagues at Gilmore and Bell, and the folks at Baker Tilly for all of their work in getting us to this point. So the sale that we're talking about would fund two types of projects. First would be the bridge projects. Your backup materials include the list of the 4 projects and the amounts of bond proceeds necessary to fund those projects. Those were included in the 2019 capital improvement program that you all adopted in August of 2018. Those total $4.0 million. The second type of project would be work that's being done on the adult detention facility or the jail. As you know, that building is being both remodeled and expanded to accommodate administrative staff that's currently housed in this building. That work also includes a CIP amendment that was authorized earlier this year to do some additional work on the roof and to do some work on the generators. And that right now, that project is authorized at $6.7 million. So when we take into account the issuance costs along with these types of projects, we anticipate adding $10.9 million to the county's balance of outstanding general obligation debt, which would increase that total to about $58 million by the end of the year. Each type of project would adhere to the structure set in the county's debt policy, so we would repay that debt over 20 years. We also would adhere to the preference in the policy that says that the county will repay 30% of principal in the first 5 years of that 20-year term and 60% in the first 10 years of that 20-year term. So what that means is that for the first 5 years, estimated annual debt service right now is anticipated at about $830,000 per year. For the first 5 years. For the next 5 years, that would be about $780,000. So for the final 10 years, it would be around $500,000 per year. As you know, the county's debt policy also includes some ratios, some benchmarks that allow us to issue debt. When we take those together, they act as a debt limit. So we must be below 3 of the 4 particular measures. This is also in your backup. There's a chart displaying those measures. And so based on the debt that we anticipate issuing now, we will remain below 3 of those 4 measures. There is one measure where we exceed, and that is the per capita direct underlying and overlapping debt. And so essentially what that looks at is the debt of all of the entities in Sedgwick County, so not just the county, but all of the cities, the school districts, the townships, and puts that on a per person basis. And so we have been over that for some time. However, if you look at your backup documentation, you'll see that the county's debt is included in that. The measure currently that we believe will be at is $4,131. Of that, only $191 is because of counties or county direct debt. So we are certainly well within what reasonable standards say we need to be. Now that debt policy also includes a 5th benchmark, and that benchmark, takes the amount of debt service and puts that relative to the general fund and debt service budget. We must always be below that measure before debt can be issued. And so that limit is 10%, and we are well below that, contemplating this issue. So if you have any questions, I'm very happy to try and answer those. Garth, I'm sure, also would be happy to come up and answer those if you have any questions. But if not, I recommend you authorize the resolution, and we'll be back to give you the results on November 6th.
Thank you. Commissioner Meitzner.
Lindsay, thanks. This might be like the first time we've done debt bond sales this year?
This year, yes. We have talked about it a couple times because you all have to approve that work before we do the work.
Just for my background, so the process is that we authorize you to work with Gilmore Bell, and it's auctioned, I assume.
So we'll have a competitive sale on November 5th. We've scheduled it at 1 p.m. Basically what happens between now and then is we'll prepare all the necessary documents. There's a notice of bond sale. There's a preliminary official statement. Some of those things that basically tell potential buyers of our debt, what kind of position we're in. We'll also have a credit rating evaluation done in the next few weeks. That'll all be packaged together. And then on November 5th, people will have an opportunity to go into a designated spot and basically bid to get our business. And then we'll come to you with hopefully the lowest interest rate, which we are AAA. So hopefully we'll get a good rate, and that'll be kind of the end of that. And then we'll actually close on the bond sale later in November. That's when we'll get the proceeds. So it'll all happen within this fiscal year.
So the bond sale is on one day, and then is that like locked in for 24 hours or something, and then you come to us to that rate?
As I understand it, yes. I don't know. Garth, is there anything specific we need to talk about to that extent? I don't know if that's held for 24 hours or what.
I mean, I don't.
Good
I'm trying to remember how it's done.
Yeah. Good
Just
morning,
to-
Commissioners.
Thanks.
Good question, Commissioner Meitzner. Lindsay's correct. In essence, when they submit those bids at 1 o'clock on that Tuesday afternoon, in essence, as part of that process, they understand that it will not actually be awarded until the following morning at the regularly scheduled county commission meeting. That's just part of the process. So they know when they submit those bids and those interest rates on Tuesday afternoon, those will remain good until, the Monday morning award.
Okay.
Yes.
So they're locked in. Okay.
Yes.
The other question, can you re-explain that overlapping number 41,
Absolutely.
4,131? Tell me what makes up that 4,131?
So that is all of the debt for all entities within Sedgwick County. So every township, every school district, every city,
Water.
city of, yes, any entity that's carrying debt gets reflected on this sheet, and we report that. And so it's actually in two of our measures. And the one where it looks bad is that per capita measure.
But from Sedgwick County perspective, Sedgwick County doesn't have any control over that 4,131.
Right. But it's a measure that shows basically how much debt our population is responsible for, how much they carry. And so we want that to be just kind of a general measure and to indicate the overall fiscal health of this community.
Okay. Well, it just kind of, being it's not really relative to our decision. I don't know why is it's included as one. I don't mind having the information, but I don't know that it should be a measurement tool. This is future discussion. I don't see how it can be impactful one way or another.
Well, actually, we just revised this in 2017, so probably in 2020 it's a good time to go back and look at that policy. So it'll be a natural.
I like the measurement things, the requirements, but they need to be relevant to the decision from my perspective. But anyway, but thanks for explaining that.
Sure.
Yeah, so you're saying, so the 191 is related to.
It's ours. It's
that,
right. So if you took that out of the $4,131, that still leaves $3,900. That's by other entities. That's not ours. So ours is not an overly large portion, for sure.
Right. Correct. Thanks for explaining. Thank you.
Any other questions for Lindsay? I don't see any questions. Move to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner O'Donnell. Commissioner Cruz. Commissioner Howell.
Aye.
Commissioner Meitzner. Chairman Dennis.
Thank you,
Lindsay.
Commissioners.
Appreciate it. Next item, please.
Item G, report of the Board of Bids and Contracts regular meeting on October 3rd, 2019.
Good morning.
Welcome back, Joe.
Good to be back, Mr. Chairman. And good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Joe Thomas, Purchasing Director. The meeting we conducted with the Board of Bids and Contracts on October 3rd, we have two items that we're recommending your approval on. The first item is the client drug testing for the Department of Corrections. And this recommendation is to accept the proposal from Technical Resource Management, LLC, doing business as Cordant Health Solutions, and establish contract pricing for 3 years with 2 one-year options to renew. And our second item is the liquid chromatograph mass spectrometer for Regional Forensic Science Center. And this recommendation is to accept the quote from Waters Technologies Corporation, doing business as Waters Corporation, and that's in the amount of $94,865.45. I'll be happy to try to answer any questions you may have, and I recommend approval of both items.
Thanks, Joe. I don't see any questions whatsoever. We've already reviewed the minutes of the bids and boards and contracts. Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner O'Donnell.
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz.
Aye.
Commissioner Howell. Commissioner Meitzner. Chairman Dennis.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. Next item, please.
Consent agenda.
Morning, Commissioners. Tom Stolz with the County Manager's Office, recommending approval of consent items H through P this morning.
Thank you. Move to approve hotel through Papa.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner O'Donnell.
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz.
Aye.
Commissioner Howell. Commissioner Meitzner. Chairman Dennis.
Aye. Thank you. Next item, please.
Legislative issues.
Mr. Papoon.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I just want to let the commission know that I've been working with the county manager and Assistant County Manager Tanya Cole, and we have sent out requests to departments to give us some ideas relating to some legislative changes they may be interested in. We have tentatively scheduled a BOCC staff meeting on October 29th to discuss any of the legislative items that you might have or that have been brought before you by employees, and then our tentative date to approve the platform for 2020 is November 20th, County Commission meeting. So we're in the process of getting it prepared and be happy to address any questions you might have.
Great, thank you. I don't see any questions at all from the commissioners this time about it. We are looking forward to developing our legislative agenda for next year.
And that's on October 29th, staff meeting? Is that what you said?
That is what is. We have Jason Watkins confirming that he can be there as well, the county's lobbyist. So.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome.
Any other questions? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, next item.
Other.
Any commissioners have anything for other today? Commissioner Cruz.
Thank you, Chairman. Excuse me. When I was first, before I even took office, I had the opportunity to tour about 39 of our departments. But just yesterday, I wasn't. I was able to get to the Extension Center because I hadn't had a chance to get there yet, and I was really pleasantly surprised. You know, we hear about all the things that the county does, and they come here and they tell us what they do, but until you actually experience it yourself, I just didn't quite understand what all they did. And so I was just really pleasantly surprised to see all of the events that they host. And one thing, as a mom, I'm always kind of looking for events that I can attend with my children. Last weekend it was the Aviation Museum with the girls in aviation. My daughter thoroughly enjoyed it. And this weekend coming up is a Science Fest that is targeted towards 4th graders through 8th graders. And they're going to, it's at the Advanced Learning Library from 1 to 5 this Saturday, October the 12th. They're going to investigate food science and food waste. They're going to talk about generating your own electrical energy, solving plant-based mysteries, and exploring 4-H STEM projects. So for all of those out there who have a 4th grader through 8th grade, I would suggest that you go attend this free event. Also, I encourage you to check out what the Extension Center has to offer. There's a Medicare line that a lot of people call in. I think that they have quite a backlog, but they are able to answer questions. And also, there was a group of volunteers who answer pretty much any questions you have. There was a lady who brought in an apple and wanted to know what was wrong with her apple. And so it's just kind of interesting what happens in our community. And so I would encourage you to look up the Extension Center because they have a lot going on.
Very good. Thank you. And a couple other things they do. If you need your home tested for radon, you can pick up a radon test kit there. Also, they have 4-H, and there's a 4-H banquet coming up on November the 9th, as I recall. So, and I know the commissioners are invited to that. So, anyway, there is a lot going on at our Extension Center, plus an election that we need to make sure that we get people out to vote at. Any commissioners have anything else under other? Seeing nothing, I'd like to recess the Board of County Commissioners meeting for October 9th and call to order the governing body of Fire District Number 1 for October 9th. Madam Clerk, next item.
Roll call. Commissioner O'Donnell.
Present.
Commissioner Cruz.
Present.
Commissioner Howell.
Present.
Commissioner Meitzner.
Present.
Chairman Dennis.
Present. Next item, please.
Public agenda.
Thank you. Does anyone in the audience wish to speak on public agenda for our Fire District Number 1? Seeing no one, next item, please.
Consideration of minutes. Item A, fire meeting minutes of September 4th, 2019.
Thank you. All the commissioners have had an opportunity to review the fire minutes from September 4th. Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner O'Donnell,
Commissioner O'Donnell.
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz,
Aye.
Commissioner Howell,
Aye.
Commissioner Meitzner, Chairman Dennis.
Aye. Next item, please.
Consent agenda.
Morning again, Commissioners. Tom Stolz, County Manager's Office. Recommend approval of consent items B and C.
Move to approve Bravo and Charlie. Any discussion? Oh, I'm sorry, second. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner O'Donnell,
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz,
Aye.
Commissioner Howell,
Aye.
Commissioner Meitzner,
Aye.
Chairman Dennis.
And I don't see anything else to come before Fire District Number 1, so I'd like to adjourn Fire District Number 1. Call back to order the Board of County Commissioners meeting for October 9th. Next item, please.
Executive session.
Thank you. Commissioner Meitzner.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move that the Board of County Commissioners recess into executive session for 30 minutes until 10:15. For consultation with the attorney for the county regarding matters deemed privileged in the attorney-client relationship to discuss pending litigation.
I'll second the motion. Any discussion? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner O'Donnell,
Aye.
Commissioner Cruz,
Aye.
Commissioner Howell, Commissioner Meitzner,
Aye.
Chairman Dennis.
We are adjourned, recessed rather, and we're going to meet in a large conference room down the hall.
The best way to fight mosquito bites is to follow the 3 Ds, drain, dress, and DEET. Make sure you use insect repellents that contain DEET. Other options include Picardin, lemon eucalyptus oil, and IR 3535. But make sure you follow the product label directions and avoid over-application.
The best way to fight mosquito bite is to follow the 3 Ds, drain, dress, and DEET. Drain any standing water around your home since mosquito needs water to breed. Check anything that can hold water, including pots, gutter, tires, pet dishes, and bird baths. The best way to fight mosquito bite is to follow the 3 Ds, drain, dress, and DEET. Dress in long sleeves and pants when outside, especially at dawn and dusk hours, which is when mosquitoes are most active. You can also treat your clothing with permethrin for added protection. Do not use permethrin directly on the skin.
The best way to fight mosquito bites is to follow the 3 Ds, drain, dress, and DEET. You can also fight mosquitoes with a 4th D, dunks. Mosquito dunks kill mosquito larvae in standing water, but they are safe for humans, animals, and other insects. One dunk can last up to 30 days, and you can treat 100 square feet.
Hello, I'm County Commissioner Michael O'Donnell, here with Hayesville Mayor Bruce Armstrong, and we want to make a exciting announcement about the intersection where we are at 55th and Meridian. The county is partnered with the Hayesville School District and will be making major changes to this intersection, including a full traffic signal. Many people have asked me since I was elected to bring some changes to this intersection, including the traffic lights. The other changes that we're going to be making is we're going to be widening the turn lanes in front of campus, both on 55th Street and on Meridian. This will improve safety for the students at campus, for the employees of campus, and for all the residents of Sedgwick County and Hayesville that use this intersection.
I think you can see behind us right now where the school is letting out, and you've got 1,500 plus students just here at campus itself. The traffic stacks up. There are real safety problems. Twice a day when kids are coming in and leaving, it is a real safety problem. Accidents have happened. I think that we want to thank the county for stepping in to take care of this safety problem, and the school for stepping up and actually helping with it also. So we're looking forward to the project being done.
Just want to reiterate the commitment that the county and the city and the school district have, that public safety is our top priority, and also making sure we have infrastructure that fits the needs of the 21st century. Four-way stop has served Hayesville, South Wichita, Sedgwick County well for many decades, but it is time to adapt. These additional turn signals and turn lanes is going to be a big major improvement. So once again, we just appreciate the partnership that the City of Hayesville and USD 261 has with the county, because we couldn't get it done if it wasn't a partnership between all three entities. We will have information on our website, my personal Facebook page. I'm sure the City of Hayesville will have it all on theirs as well, so that you can share this information and let people know that these major changes will be coming next year.
Each year, nearly 22,000 people end up in the emergency room due to injuries involving barbecue grills, fire pits, and outdoor fires. Here are some safety tips to keep you and your family safe this summer. Your grill should be placed a minimum 10 feet away from all combustible materials. Always make sure your gas grill lid is open before lighting it. Keep your grill clean by removing grease and fat buildup. Never leave your grill unattended. Keep children and pets from the barbecue grilling area and away from fire pits or chimeneas, and never leave them unattended. If you smell gas or propane, turn off your grill and call 911. Never move the grill after it has been lit. If you're using a charcoal-style grill or smoker, always use the proper charcoal lighter fluid.
One whopper for the copper.
Never operate your fire pit or chimenea beneath a building or overhang. Keep fire pits or chimeneas a minimum of 15 feet away from any and all combustible material, including your home and other structures. Position your fire pit or chimenea on a firm, level surface. Always extinguish fire pits, barbecue grills, and chimeneas when you are finished using them. Always keep a fire extinguisher close by and educate yourself on how to use it. Use the pass method. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle at the base of the fire, squeeze the handle, and sweep side to side. For more safety tips, you can visit our website at www.sedgwickcounty.org.
My name is Emily with Sedgwick County Strategic Communications, and this is Cody Sharvett with Emergency Management. Today we're here to learn more about outdoor warning sirens and how they sound and operate. So Cody, tell me, how many outdoor warning sirens are located within Wichita and Sedgwick County?
Well, we have 150 sirens on our system. As you might imagine, most of those are in the city of Wichita, but every small city in the county has at least one. There are also quite a few in the unincorporated areas of Sedgwick County, and there are actually even some outside of our county lines. We operate a few down in the city of Mulvane and at the Kansas Star Casino.
Okay. What's the biggest complaint you hear about outdoor warning sirens?
Well, I have to say that the complaint we get most often is people saying, I can't hear the sirens inside. Well, I'm sorry to tell you folks, but you're not supposed to. They're not designed to be heard inside, especially with today's better constructed, better insulated homes with the windows closed, the air conditioner on, the TV, all those sources of noise. You may not ever hear that siren inside, and even if you do hear it, it may not be loud enough to get your attention and distract you from what you're doing to let you know that there's a warning that's been issued. So there are people out there who want them to be their primary means of receiving that information. In other words, they want the siren to sound. They're going to wait for that siren to sound before they take any action. And you just can't do that. You need to use what we call a layered approach.
So can you explain to me what a layered approach is?
Sure. It means having multiple ways of receiving that critical information so that if one fails, you've got a backup. Maybe your primary is the TV, and all the local TV weather people do a great job at it. But if the electricity is out, so is the TV. And what if the storm comes in the middle of the night? As good as your local weatherman is, he's not coming to your house at 3 a.m. to turn on the TV for you. So you've got to have something to do that, something that's battery powered, something that's going to wake you up in the middle of the night. And one of the best things that we found for that is the NOAA All Hazards Weather Radio. It has sirens. It will be battery powered. It will wake you up if that's what you need. A lot of folks rely on cell phones, and those are good. They give a lot of information, a lot of apps. They also receive wireless emergency alerts. But if you've lost your cell phone signal, if the battery dies on your cell phone, those are out of the pictures as well. So a layered approach means having multiple ways to get that critical information, including something that's going to wake you up at night, but you can't rely on that to be the sirens. That's not their purpose.
Okay. Can you tell me what the purpose of outdoor warning sirens are?
Sure, just that. They are an outdoor warning device. They were put in place to warn people who are outside, away from TV, away from radio, maybe even away from their phone, that something bad is happening. They need to get inside, turn on local media, and find out what.
When do you guys sound the warning sirens?
Well, we test them every Monday at noon, unless it's a holiday or the skies are threatening, cloudy, that type of thing. Other than that, there's only two reasons that those sirens will ever sound. One is an attack on the homeland, such as an air raid, and that will be indicated by the classic rise and fall tone in the siren. For the other reason, one thing, a tornado warning for Sedgwick County, for some portion of our county. That's going to be the same steady tone that they hear Monday at the test.
What about an all clear?
Now, that would be too confusing, we feel. So if we want the sirens to mean one thing only, so if you're in your shelter and you hear that siren go off, you aren't thinking, well, is that the all clear that I'm hearing, or is that a new warning that's been issued and I need to stay in shelter? So it's one thing and one thing only, take cover now.
So how does the system operate?
Well, the National Weather Service, when they issue a warning now, they issue the warning polygon. It shows where the storm is now and where it might go downstream and who might be in the path of it. The coordinates for that come from one place, the Weather Service. They give them to the TV stations. So if you're flipping channels, that box will be on the same radar map at the exact same location on all three channels. They also share it with us in emergency management, and it comes to our siren computer. So that allows us to do selective sounding. In the past, if any portion of the county was under a warning, we had to sound every siren in the county. But now, with selective sounding, only the sirens in or immediately adjacent to that warned area are going to sound. That helps us eliminate overwarning and something called siren complacency. So let's say the storm is near Mount Hope or Andale, and it's moving off to the northeast towards Harvey County. Why would you ever sound the sirens in Clearwater or Hayesville or Derby, for example? If you do that, then the sirens go off, nothing happens, nothing is going to happen because the storm is nowhere near. People start getting complacent. They start tuning out the sirens. So if that siren closest to you is not sounding, it probably means the threat is not anywhere close to you. But if you do hear that closest siren going off, the threat is real, the threat is close, it's time to take action now.
So what's the most important thing for people to remember?
Well, there's actually several things I want folks to take away from this. First of all, the sirens are not meant to be heard inside at all, and especially not meant to wake you up at night. Another thing is there's only one reason to hear that steady tone. Unless it's Monday at noon, it means tornado warning. Take shelter now. And also, with selective sounding, no more reason for complacency. If that closest siren is going off, the threat is real, the threat is close, and it's time to take action.
Cody, thank you so much for taking time to talk to us about outdoor warning sirens. We hope everyone watching has learned something new. For more information, you can visit our website at www.sedgwickcounty.org.
just the basic fire knowledge that I got was really how much further I can push myself physically and mentally than maybe I ever thought I could before.
I've learned so much. One of the great things about being in the academy here at Sedgwick County is that we have a great opportunity to learn with so many different people.
The hardest part for me was probably adjusting to actual fire scenarios. That's the first time I've ever been in a situation like that where it was actually hot.
We had to get up a slide so we can get a flag. It was a class flag, and it took us 3 tries, but we finally came up with the plan and able to get it. We all came together as a team. To get everything done, we worked really good together. All the guys we have, they're great people.
We got lots of reps in, lots of live fires, learned what it's actually like to be under heat and perform under stressful situations. Learning to work as a team with 8 other individuals on a daily basis.
We had to do like a kind of a confined space training with our air packs in the early weeks. You got to go through pipes, climb up stairs, ladders, all with your full gear on.
You actually got to see like firsthand how a building will collapse, and that was awesome.
Doing the controlled burnout in Garden Plain, we got to do some really great training on an actual house. That's training that's hard to beat.
Just did different things, like we would stretch at the beginning of every session, and we could go for a jog, anywhere for 1.5 miles to maybe 2.5 miles. Being part of a team and all of you trying to strive to achieve the same goal and get through something tough together.
And I can't wait to be a part of a job that I just love to go to every day and enjoy thoroughly, and also being able to do something positive in our community.
We are Sedgwick County Fire District 1, Recruit Class 1801.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Crafton with the Sedgwick County Sheriff's Office. Did you know that your first DUI offense can cost you up to a $1,000 fine and an automatic 6-month suspension of your driver's license? Last year alone, there were nearly 2,000 alcohol-related accidents. Of those, 25% resulted in an injury or a loss of at least 1 life. 1 in 4 occupants in a DUI-related accident are either injured or killed as a result of the collision. All DUI accidents can be avoided. When you go out for the evening, plan ahead. Use ride sharing, have a designated driver, or call a family member for a ride home. Buckle up,
get a ride home,
and don't drink and drive.
Welcome to Sedgwick County Division of Corrections. Come join our team. We have an extensive range of facilities and programs. You could work with either adults or juveniles. We have job opportunities at the Juvenile Detention Facility, Juvenile Residential Facility, Juvenile Intake and Assessment Center, Home-Based Supervision, Juvenile Field Services, Adult Field Services, Adult Residential and Work Release Program, and Criminal Justice Alternatives.
My name is Trey Davis, and I'm an intensive supervision officer. I'm on the high-risk team for probation, so I meet with my clients weekly. I help them get jobs, help them get into treatment, make sure they're attending treatment. I go to court for them if they're in jail. I'm basically the middleman between my client and the judge. I do love my job. I like meeting with my clients. It's rewarding when they complete probation, when they get off successfully. It's fun to see them grow into people of society that are successful.
My name is Ana Aguilar, and I'm a correction worker at JDF. I supervise the kids on a daily basis. I hold them responsible for their expectations every day, issuing out discipline when they don't follow through with their expectations, and I try to build rapport with them. Always wanted to work with kids directly to try to make a difference in their lives.
My name is Samuel Obang. I'm a senior correction worker here at Juvenile Detention Facility, helping our people, helping our kids, helping out, troubled youth, and, just getting a good impact out of them with all my experience and all the backgrounds that I've acquired. It takes somebody special to work in this department, and you got to be ready to make a positive change in people's lives because they're going to be back in the community.
Our mission is to provide a continuum of evidence-based correctional services in our community, which promotes public safety and accountability while supporting positive behavior change in an effort to reduce recidivism. Sedgwick County offers a competitive benefits package: health, dental, and vision insurance, Capers Retirement Plan, 457B Pre-Tax Retirement Plan, dependent care and medical flexible spending accounts, vacation leave, sick leave, and 10 paid holidays.
Come join us.
Come join us.
Apply now. For more information on job functions,
the Boundless Playscape was the idea of the Sunrise Rotary Club some 17 years ago, a club of about 25 people then. A few years later, the first and only playground accessible to people with disabilities, including those who use walkers and wheelchairs, was opened. It's accessible not only to children, but to parents and grandparents like me who want to play with their children instead of watch their children play. It's totally barrier-free, in some cases looking not barrier-free. Every year it's estimated that 500,000 visitors come to the Boundless Playscape.
First, I want to thank the West Sedgwick County Sunrise Rotary Club for its continued support of this amazing playground. Without them and their generous contributions, we wouldn't be standing here today. Not only did they provide millions of dollars to help build the playscape, starting back in 2008, but over the years the club has held numerous cleanups and expansions of this park. They ensure that our kids have a safe place to play and to call their own. Public and private dollars went to this effort. A maze that is accessible to children in wheelchairs. A play garden focused on making sounds that can be enjoyed by those with vision impairment. Swings made especially for kids with spinal challenges. And wheelchair-friendly ramps and services.
This park obviously was meant to bring kids of all abilities together. This is pretty special to our family. We have a daughter with cerebral palsy. She's 37 years old, would have loved to have this for her when she was growing up, because there wasn't a place where kids of all abilities could come together and play like they can here.
The West Sedgwick County Club is made up of people from across our community who are dedicated to making change. Our motto is service above self. In 2016, we began a capital campaign called Play It Forward, aimed at getting even more equipment and creating more attractions for kids with challenges. You're seeing the results of that campaign here today. With help from the community, the Boundless Playscape has become a place where kids and their parents, no matter their abilities, can make new friends and just have fun, and we thank you all for that.
I am pleased that Sedgwick County is home to such a place. I know the Boundless Playscape will continue to provide joy to the community for years to come.
Sedgwick County Fire District 1 would like to remind citizens that during periods of high fire danger, there are precautions you can take to help minimize the risk of starting a fire. Periods of high fire danger are defined by low humidity, long periods of very little moisture, and very high winds that are usually greater than 15 miles per hour. When fire danger is high, there are numerous causes that can ignite a fire with very little fuel involved. Here are some precautions that you can take. Be aware when discarding cigarettes, cigars, or other similar products. Ensure trailer chains don't drag on the ground and spark. Properly maintain vehicles to prevent sparks or flammable materials from coming out of the exhaust system. Completely extinguish all recreational burns such as barbecue grills, chimeneas, and fire pits with abundant amounts of water. Use extreme caution when welding or using a blowtorch. Use spark arresters on portable gasoline-powered equipment such as lawnmowers, weed eaters, edgers, and chainsaws. Remember, open burns will not be allowed on high fire danger days, even with valid burn permits. Please call Sedgwick County Fire District 1 at 660-3473 or visit www.sedgwickcounty.org if you have any questions.
Well, we have 600 miles of paved roads, and so if we're on a 6-year program, that means we redo 100 miles of road every year. And this one that you see today is pavement rejuvenation.
This is actually a project that's about one of about 6 or 7 tools in the toolbox we use in Sedgwick County to refurbish our roads.
They heat up the pavement and they mill off or grind up the top inch, and they recycle that. That goes back down on the road. Also with that, they put an inch of virgin material on top of that.
When they get done, this road's as if it's a brand new road. So although this road's 11 years old and it cost $3 million a mile to fabricate this road originally, we can preserve this asset indefinitely.
Some taxpayers might think it's a waste of money. They can't see with the naked eye that these roads need something done. But that's what preventive maintenance is all about. There are micro cracks in that pavement that lets water get down into the subbase, and with that, we have freeze and thaw cycle in Kansas, which is really bad, and that's when your potholes start.
Are we wasting money or are we saving money? Well, the answer to that, of course, is we're spending some money, but the intent, of course, is to save money over time.
You keep good roads good. The road is an asset. It is not an expendable that you throw away.
Sedgwick County does it right because we got great staff, they have excellent skills, they have good judgment, and we invest in Sedgwick County to make sure these roads are done at the right time with the right process. And with that, this road today is a brand new road.
Really want to thank those who were at Sedgwick County 47 years ago who focused on making the Sedgwick County Zoo a reality. It's now the state's largest tourist attraction. We are proud of it because it demonstrates what we can do when we work together. As a partner, we've been honored to be part of this process throughout the planning. We are excited about the master plan along with the private sector. Think about both now and think about what our future is going to become. Let's build a foundation for the next generation.
We're thrilled to announce today our final master plan that will guide us through the next 25 years. The guiding model throughout the plan will be to do better for all the resident animals and exemplify what we did for elephants just a few years ago. We'll be reconfiguring the zoo to add more space for animals and even better experiences for our visitors. The first projects on the list are items that will address a few of the zoo's immediate needs: a new entry, expanded Amur leopard habitat, and an electric-powered train. Once those items are complete, we'll be able to think bigger. What if you could ride through the air with orangutans swinging next to you just a few feet away? Imagine watching your son or daughter get married in front of a 20,000-gallon stingray habitat. Or imagine waking up with a giraffe looking through your hotel window, right here in Wichita, Kansas. Our city has a great deal of momentum right now, and the zoo is thrilled to be part of that.
Well, let's take just a moment, if we can, to talk about master plans and how organizations like our zoo accomplish them. Like others, we will tackle this in phases, and that is how we've accomplished so much of what we previously have accomplished out of the old master plan. It's by looking at what's most critical and factoring that in with what's doable. What we do know is the first phase of this effort, as Jeff described, needs to think about a new entryway, and that's really a key part of our first phase. With the right combination of opportunity and partnership, that this first phase will include at least one expanded animal exhibit, and that we think would likely be the Amur leopard exhibit. Your Sedgwick County Zoo will continue to grow and expand, and it will reflect positively on this community, be a great resource for this community and our families and the visitors that visit this area with us. So thank you all for spending a warm, windy afternoon with us out here at the zoo, and we hope you'll participate as we move forward with a lot of the exciting things in our master plan.
Thank you. Welcome back to the Board of County Commissioners meeting. I want to state that during our executive session today, no binding action was taken at this time. Do any commissioners have anything that they need to bring before the commission? See nothing. I see nothing left. We are adjourned. Thank you.